What do they got? Let's watch what they got to say.
Alright, so hope everyone is doing well. Welcome to the very first episode of Breaking Script, or BS, as I'm sure we'll all prefer to call it. Before we carry on, I want to make a quick shout out to Darth Vader, who was the man that came up with the name. Most of my videos consist of a full drawn out script, there's lots of edits, and of course it takes a lot of time. This new series, BS, will be the polar opposite. A more laid back, off the cuff, less scripted presentation. Now some of you may be wondering, where's that Battlefield 5 video you promised? It's still cooking in the oven. Here's a little snippet of what it looks like on Premiere, and that's only about half the video. So that should be releasing in no more than a week from now, so I look forward to sharing that with you guys. But anyhow, Halo Infinite. The Xbox showcase went ahead on Friday, and what everyone was really intrigued to see was Halo Infinite in action. I must say, I've never been this nervous in the lead up for a world premiere. Like nowadays I'll tune into these like gaming events just for the shock value. I mean, there's still some good games included in there, but the oddly cringy presentations they do, and like that fake persona that they all put on, it just makes me vomit inside.
They are creating right now games that are going to define the generation, experiences that are just going to blow your mind away.
Why don't we go to the I don't give a fuck museum?
Besides that, Halo Infinite showed off an 8-minute demo, well, about 6 minutes of it was gameplay, and the public opinion right now is, well, it really just depends on where you look. Like, if you look in the comments of the official video, I'd say it's pretty positive. But if you head on over to, like, the Twitter replies, holy mother of God. But anyway, this video is about my opinion and only me. Now, I haven't decided what the title's going to be yet, but I am both ecstatic and a little bit nervous. I saw a lot of things that looked promising, and some things that made me feel a little bit insecure. We'll start with the elephant in the room, obviously which everyone is talking about, the graphics. Now, sometime after the reveal, it has been confirmed that this was in fact an early build being played on PC and is not representable of the final product. So that does make me feel a little bit less uneasy, but I'm still a little bit confused. Like, in certain areas of the demo, I was like, wow, that looks absolutely gorgeous. Like Master Chief's armor, the birds that fly off, the real-time sun reflections, and then there was the they're not so nice looking things, like the close-ups on the character models, them perfectly beautiful shaped mountains or whatever the hell they were in the drawn out distance, and obviously there was a few little pop-ins. Now, I still stand by the statement that graphics aren't everything. I think people do need to somewhat get a little bit less obsessed with the graphics. But at the same time, I get why people have raised concerns about this one. This is the game that Microsoft is counting on to get their new console off to a good start. And all this big talk that they've been giving the Series X for this to be their showcase, it wasn't the best look, I'll say. Another negative was something no one seems to have mentioned. This guy. Like, I'm sure we'll grow to like him over the course of the campaign, but seriously, who talks back to the Master Chief?
No, you are. Breathe. No, you don't get to tell me what to do. You don't get to tell me anything. I found you, remember? You were out there on your own, and you'd still be out there if it wasn't for me.
Yeah, and I've saved humanity on 2 separate occasions. Well, 3 really. I mean, I'm partly to blame for what happened in New Phoenix, but me and Cortana made up for it by killing the bastard responsible. Now, Sprint is back. Now, I remember the second I saw Chief running, I could feel those hearts being broken. But to be honest, I expected Sprint to be back. I know there was a lot of people firmly believing that this was going to be a full-on classic old-school title, but I never thought that. I was like, they're going to throw their own little twists in there. And I've come to understand, from a developer's point of view, they always strive on doing something different. I think if you want a classic Halo, you just go play the originals. They're not going anywhere. So Sprint is back, but it looks a lot more slower this time around. But that now leads me to the upgrades tab that we saw when they opened the map. Now, just off the top of my head, I can expect we'll be able to sprint faster, slower cooldowns for armor abilities, higher ammo capacity, you know, all that kind of stuff. And it's been confirmed in an interview that the abilities such as the grapple hook and the drop wall that we saw in the trailers will be pickup items that players will have to fight over to obtain in multiplayer, which to me is very good news. And also in terms of sprint status in the multiplayer, we don't know yet. Now the level design has been expanded to a hub type world, so I'm guessing each mission will be dropping off to a new area, similar to what we saw in like Metro Exodus, where we have... I'm gonna sneeze. Oh, excuse me. Sorry guys. So we can expect to be given new areas to explore, but there'll be some like linear sections in between, like maybe we'll have to go deep inside to a base at one point, all that kind of thing. So this was actually something I asked for in my Halo Infinite video I made a few months ago, and I am smiling. I've never done a face reveal, so you can't see it, but I have a very huge curvy grin going across my face right now. I look absolutely insane. And my guess is that there'll be some cool little secrets hidden around each level, maybe some small little side quests. Here's hoping. I really do appreciate this new direction. I'm sure most people have pointed out, but that first scene in the gameplay demo reminded a lot of us of the Halo mission from Combat Evolved when he crash lands on the ship and explores the world. Gunplay looks very solid. At first I was a little bit off-put by the lack of weight that AR had at the beginning, and some of the sounds were a bit suppressed. But as it went on, it really started to click for me. We see if you shoot the lower half of a brute, they'll stumble a little bit, which can give you that extra second. Grappling the fusion coil, then being able to throw it into a crowd of enemies. That was pretty tits. Brutes will now throw suicide grunts, poor things. Lots of new weapons. We did actually catch the BR in the 1-minute trailer they released as well, and it seems to be much reminiscent of Halo 2's, which again, one additional point for that. But the biggest highlight was when Chief went up the lift and those beautiful vocals started playing. Like, if you asked 100 different Halo players, new or old, what was going through their mind when that track came on, you'd probably get 100 different answers. It would give chills to even the most hardcore Sony ponies out there. And that was really it. My biggest overall gripe, I think, was just the whole reveal didn't really show off anything that made me go like, holy shit. Now don't get me wrong, there was a lot of things I really liked, but I felt like this was a very basic, bland showcase. Also, I get it's a demo, but the person that was playing didn't seem that good. And I saw a lot of people complaining about the AI looking quite dumb, but it's worth noting that that was being played on normal. But again, I have to appreciate at the same time that it isn't another one of them scripted Michael Bay sections that we've seen tons of times. And it ends with one of those cliche villain speeches like, all of you will die. And you know, I was just rolling my eyes. Like, he reminded me of the bad guy from Destiny 2, giving himself like all this big talk and self-praise and stuff. And I'm just sitting there like, I ain't got a clue who you are, son. Also, dude, chill out with the grunting. Jesus. Anyway guys, that pretty much wraps up my thoughts. I mean, it's definitely a day one for me. I mean, it's Halo for Christ's sake. Really enjoyed the majority of the demo. Obviously I hope the graphics do get polished up quite a bit for its own sake. And in terms of the full campaign, I hope it's just a bit longer this time compared to previous titles. And I hope you enjoyed this very first episode of Breaking Script, or BS. I think we'll call it BS from now on. So you guys tell me your thoughts on Halo Infinite. Were you disappointed? Were you ecstatic? You tell me. And also, in regards to the Battlefield 5 video, it will be out probably no less than a week from now. And I really look forward to sharing that with you guys. I've been working hard on it for the last month and a half, really 2 months. And I'm thinking of premiering the video as well, just for a change. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video. You tell me your thoughts. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you very soon. Bye.